Good day, good people. It's your guy Lewis to the T, and I'm back for your 19th installment of Black History Month 2021. Today is Friday, February 19th, and I am excited today to talk to you guys about the art form of dance. Yes, we're going to talk about dance and some dancers. For me, I love dance. I think it's that amazing space where athletics meets culture, where the art form really shows you and expresses to you how a person is feeling. It can take you to a place in time. It can take you to a memory that you had way back, or it could even tell stories of old history. So in doing my research about this, I really wanted to find a person or pinpoint somebody who had a pivotal role in dance, and I was able to find a man by the name of Master Judah. Master Juba. Actually his name was William Lane. And he was born in the 1820s and danced in the 1840s. And my assumption about why we haven't really heard a lot about him was that his dance took place in the 1840s in vaudeville and blackface, in an art form and a dance form that was not necessarily considered polite or value added to African American people. Oftentimes, these were white men who were dressed in blackface, pretending to be black men and projecting or portraying us to be bumbling idiots or to be fools. And so I'm assuming that part of that history was buried, either out of shame or just a lack of appreciation for what he was able to accomplish back at this time. Master Juba was actually a very young man. He ended up passing away in his late 20s in Europe. Which I think adds a little bit of nuance to his story, even though the type of dance that he was doing was not necessarily celebrated by the African American community. He was a free man. He was a free man who was born into a space where this talent was seen into him. He may have started off doing it as a way just to make money, but he really did make a name for himself, and he was able to travel to Europe, never to return to the United States, where he was performing even at the front of some of the white shows and with white dance troupes that he would dance with. So Master Juba, I'll drop some links so you can do a little bit of research on him. Born William Lane in 1820s, did make a contribution on behalf of African American people to the art form of dance. His art form was actually recorded, not necessarily recorded visually, but recorded in a written way by Charles Dickens, who wrote about him in one of his novels, his travels to the U.S., his travel log, saying that this man stepped with this really quick, almost lightning speed-like rhythm. And other things that were written about him lead us to believe that he actually may have been like the godfather or the root of modern day tap dance and jazz dance. So we want to make sure that we acknowledge him and his contribution. So whether it was somebody like a Master Juba, all the way up to today, us having someone as well known and celebrated as Misty Copeland. What he went through back in his day helped to pave the way for somebody like a Misty Copeland to become the first principal ballerina for the American Ballet Theater, which had never been done, right? This is something that was accomplished. We were still having first. We're still having first now. We were having first in 2015 when she was named principal ballerina. And the contribution and the dedication and discipline that it takes for these people to put themselves out there for this particular art form, to entertain us and educate us and to kind of lift our spirits is just amazing to me. I think that I grew up in an awesome time period in the 80s, the early 80s, throughout the 90s, because we really got to know dancers and celebrate them for their art form. People like Gregory Hines and people like Debbie Allen, these artists were known to us as dancers. Even though they made their way on film and they did do some television, we knew them as amazing dancers and we celebrated them. They didn't have to have a record. They didn't have to be a big movie star. We really saw them for who they were. I'm at an age where I can look back and say, man, the Alvin Ailey dance troupe, looking at the Dance Theater of Harlem and the contributions that were made by people like Catherine Dunham. I wasn't around at that time, although I did get to know who she was over time and recognize, what she meant to us, and people like Josephine Baker, who just was like a standout breakout star in her day and time and was able to really elevate and uplift what black women looked like when it came to dance, when it came to movie and to theater. So we want to celebrate dance today. I'm gonna drop some links so you guys can do your own research, watch some videos on YouTube. I definitely went down the rabbit hole today. One of the videos that really stood out to me and is circulating right now on social media is a young gymnast who, for her floor routine, danced off Janet Jackson's Control and a couple other songs, but it was absolutely amazing to see this athlete incorporate dance into her floor routine and really celebrate the icon that is Janet Jackson, of course, but just watching her, you know that she recognizes someone like a Misty Copeland, who is a ballerina, but then she also recognizes hip hop, and then she's a gymnast, and then she's dancing to Janet Jackson, and she just brings all of these different aspects of culture and African American heritage together right there on that dance floor. So look her up as well. I'll drop a link for her. I'm Lewis to the T. I'll be back again tomorrow. You'll find this on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Drop some comments, like, and share, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.